What's up, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at Jack Henry's Clay Pomade. So James already took a look at this, but we're going to go ahead and give you guys another perspective on what the clay pomade can do for my hair. We all kind of know that the clays generally tend to work a lot better for, at least for me, in my experience. The clays just somehow really work well with like thick and wavy hair. I don't know, it's just because of the gritty like nature of the clay itself that gives just this crazy amount of hold and control. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. We're going to do the usual application, design of the jar application, how it lasts throughout the day, and then my final thoughts on it. Just give you guys a little intro about the company itself. I honestly really like them just because they're minimal, very simple, and like they use all natural ingredients, and just very simple in terms of like what ingredients they use as well. For me, that helps a lot just because like I kind of need to know what comes into contact with my skin. I just tend to have a lot of allergic reactions to basically anything that touches my skin just because I have eczema. But in general, luckily my scalp's been fine, but just I guess as a precautionary measure later on if my body decides to go whack. But let's go ahead and get to it. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take a look at the jar. We see that it comes in a 4-ounce amber glass jar, plastic lid. Presentation is very minimalistic, just black and white on a paper label. You have the company name, what the product is, what it does, and like what it can't. I guess like a little bit about it, the how-tos, and the ingredients. Nothing too crazy in terms of presentation. It's fairly uniform throughout their whole product line. So consistency is good, very minimalistic overall. Don't really have a problem with it. Can't really go wrong with a minimalistic approach, unless it's like omitting everything. But let's go ahead and take a look at the application process. Alright, so when you guys open the jar, it's pretty simple on what you guys can smell. Take a look at the ingredients. Lavender oil. You smell lavender. So it's not like the lavender that's all like soapy and stuff. It's more like the essential oils basically, because I'm pretty sure that's what they use. But let's go ahead and take a look at the application. Again, scooping it out, not too hard, but for those in, I believe, more colder temperatures, the wax or the oil itself kind of tends to harden a lot. So you're going to have a little bit of difficulty, but just blow dry the damn thing, or I don't know, microwave it or something. But overall, just use the sharper part of your thumb or finger that you scoop it out, like just jab into it, and then it should come out. Obviously, a minor inconvenience, but again, for me, not an issue whatsoever. So applying it right now, my hair is a little bit damp, nothing too crazy, but we're gonna use about 1 full scoop. Like I'm just taking about this much every time. And I've got about a day's worth of buildup, so obviously don't really need that much. One wash won't get everything out, but one pro of that is if you do shampoo, it's gonna take about 2 or 3 times, at least for me. But again, one of the pros is that you basically have product in your hair still. So next morning, pretty much good to go. Just rinse your hair and then get styling. But for me, this just in general, like oil-based lasts a really long time because of the buildup that occurs. I just have to use less from there on out. So that's definitely one pro. One con is that your hair gets hella oily after like day 4. So it's just a balancing game, if anything. So I'll show you guys first. So I was able to achieve this with the finger comb. Did this new setup so you guys get like a 360 view. I'm just spinning on my chair. So once we get styling, you guys can see the hole is pretty good. Definitely need to let this left side grow out a little bit more. But let's say if I was to go on a pretty quick trip, I'd say this is pretty nice. Like I wouldn't even really have to comb it. Let me double check on my iPad. So clean up the sides, pull up the top, I think we're good to go. Check it out. No shine. Lavender, excuse me, lavender scent is very light and like pleasant. Well, for me, I'm a sucker for those floral scents. Overall, holds pretty well. Strong hold, matte finish, lavender scent. It's got a pretty good amount of control, and again, buildup does occur, so take that into consideration. Where's my comb? So combing it, give you guys one more glimpse. Alright, so you guys can see combing it pretty decent. For me, not too crazy of a fan of like that super neat look, just because it just looks so rigid in terms of like how it is presented. For me, I like the laid back look. Finger combing it typically works well, and with most clays, you can be pretty flexible on what you do, and like pretty much style it how you want. So if I wanted to go with even a looser look, just kind of pull it to the side. So very flexible. Just go ahead and get through the day, see how this lasts. I guess one thing to mention is that California is about like 80 degrees, nothing too crazy. So I don't predict this pomade's gonna go through too much. Guess I can go ahead and like walk around and pretend I'm having a more normal day, but I'm just gonna be editing all day. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'll see you guys in a bit. Let's go ahead and wrap up this review. First, we got endurance, pretty much lasted throughout the day. We got the hold and control, about 90% of what we started with. Slickness is pretty much gone at this point. What we did see in the beginning was probably the water that was giving us the slickness. Obviously the water has evaporated, so obviously no more shine and no more slickness. What a coincidence. So let's go ahead and restyle. I pretty much did this throughout the day so that things did kind of stay in place, but didn't have to do it too much. You don't get a crazy amount of strays. My hair just kind of flew out of place because I was just moving around a lot. Overall, product, I'd say it'd be like 8 out of 10 for endurance. Most clay pomades tend to kind of last a good amount of time, unless you're just crazily agitating the products and just removing it at some point. But if you guys do use a bunch of it, maybe like day 4 or day 5, you're gonna get a little bit more like control from that buildup and more weight. Right now for me, I say it's day 3, shampooed once, so there's not a crazy amount of buildup and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of product in my hair at this point. But if that's your guys' thing, go ahead and do it. So overall, this has been implemented into my rotation. I'm just super lazy in the morning. If I wanted to use a clay pomade and I want the floral scent, this is what I go for. And usually I'm a sucker for this floral scent, lavender, super light on the nose. So it's my cup of tea, man. Give you guys one last look. Damn, my face is hella shiny right now. Pretty much sweating all day. But let's go ahead and call it a night. Peace.